morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I am StreamDRB, and today we're going to be doing a bit of a lesson looking at, well, scouting is what we're going to cover, guys. So I want to take a little bit of time to just go over some of the things that you might not have picked up during when fleet's been happening and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to break it down like this, guys. So the plan is, it's a lesson plan for a small gang PvP and scouting, right? So it's you want to be the scout, you want to go out there, you want to find targets, you want to tell the FC what's going on, and we're going to talk about how you can do that and how you can do it efficiently. Okay, and I'm going to add in my own little bits and pieces as we go. I've got a kind of lesson plan that I'm working from, but it's going to be my version of that lesson plan. So let's get into it. Let's not waste any time. And let's start off by saying that we are right now in Proteus. We are currently 214 kilometers off the gate. And this is one of the first things we can do, is we can get eyes on, know where we're heading, and have an idea of what we want to do and where we need to be going. So what's our objectives for today? By the end of today, we want to be scouting safely using EVE mechanics, delivering clean and actionable intel, and using D-scan probes to find out what ships are out there, and also enabling the FC to take a winning fight, not a losing fight. Although sometimes it's hard to differentiate between the two. Right, okay, so we've done that. I can't really see chat, but Mr. Blue 4669, I see you there in the corner. I'm not going to see chat. That Welch is over here, guys. So I'm going to just focus in on the content for right now. So, scouting. Okay, so we're going to cover all these things, and it should take roughly about an hour to cover it all. Hopefully, it's going to be fun, it's going to be enjoyable, and it's going to be informative. Okay? So, role of a scout. Well, what does a scout do? Well, it's pretty simple. You're the fleet's eyes and ears. And when you're out there, you're looking for the FC to see what's going on, what kind of things are going to be coming out that's going to affect the fleet, and if there's any targets available, okay? Responsible for finding fights and avoiding traps. Okay, fantastic. So, what you are not. Guys, this is really important, right? Because a lot of people think, oh, if I'm the scout, I've got to be the tackle, I've got to be this, I've got to be that, I've got to be everything. You are not the FC. If you're the scout, now the FC can be the scout actually, but depending on the size of the fleet, but really ideally an FC would want to have a scout going ahead, and that way he can make conscious decisions before going into the engagement instead of being forced into a fight. So you're not the FC. You are not a damage dealer. You are not hero tackle, okay? Like sometimes you will be told that you have to do it, but your job is to go out, to gather intelligence and report back to the FC so that the FC can make a conscious decision on how he's going to take that fight. Now, that is the role of the scout. That's really basic, right? So, the essential tools. There's a couple of ships that you can use as a scout. You've got the interceptors, Tech 1, Tech 2 frigates, cheap scouts, and covert ops, stealth, and probes. So we're using covert ops, stealth, and probes. That's what we're pushing right now here today with the Proteus. And we're not going to be using it to actually pin down any targets. We're just going to be using it for demonstration purposes. 3. The core scouting. Okay, so how are we going to do this, right? We'll do a demonstration in a second, okay? So every system you enter, every single system you enter, as a scout, straight away you're looking for intel, right? You're looking for information to pass on to the FC, and this is how it runs down. So 1, check local. Count the pilots in local, right? So, how do we do that? Left-hand side of the screen, we got local right here. Okay, we're looking at that. We see 27 in local. Okay, are they friendly? Are they neutrals? Are they war targets? Right now, 27 neutrals, nothing on the gate. Okay, so we've got a little bit of information there. We can see in local, that's a number. And if there's more pop in, we can see it's a spike, all that kind of stuff, right? So, and then goes, look for known enemies. So we just said that, right? We're looking for enemy that's a war target, enemy that's red, enemy that's not meant to be there. Or if you're just in low sec and you're not blue or not blue to anybody, you're just like an MPSI fleet, not purple shoot on sight, you can go out there and just be like, dude, there's a guy. There is a guy. You know, so it doesn't need to be an enemy as such. It's just another pilot that you're not friends with. You can engage. Okay, so you're also looking for that sudden spikes. Remember I said about the number in local? If that number goes from, say, 27 to 35, that's a pretty big increase. Now, it's not 100 more people, but like, it's enough to go, ooh, who are they? What are they doing? What are they in? And so then you go into that mode of descanning and all that kind of stuff. We'll cover that in a little bit. So, looking for known enemies, sudden spikes, 2, descan immediately, right? So, we're going to cover that. We're going to do this in a second, okay? So, descan immediately. 360 in maximum range. How do we do that? How do we do that? So, we'll do a demonstration now, okay? So, go to directional scan. We've then got here, it says angle 5 degrees. I'm going to maximize that to 360 degrees scan, guys. 360. Hey, Big Eve Online. Welcome in, brother. Welcome in. So, you got 360 degree scans. You've ranged it out, and oh my God, look at all that information on the screen there. Like, for a scout, that it's being able to decipher what you see and go, okay, what's important? So we see there's a Vexor on D-scan, a Porpoise, a Paladin. You know, we're like, oh, ships. Okay, there's stations. Are they near the stations? Are they not? You know, there's so much to take in. But as a scout, you start learning what's important and what's not. Okay? So, let's see here. 360 max range, ships, probes, and bubbles. Okay, so we look to ships. There's no probes on D-scan, and we're in high sec, so there's no bubbles. Okay, but if you see like an interdiction bubble, you go, uh-oh. Then you go into a bit more like specific looking. If you see a saber on D-scan, you go, uh-oh, and you wonder, where's that saber at? Are you going to warp to it? Is it going to be bubbled up? You know, all this kind of stuff. As a scout, you need to be going, okay, this is what's happening. So, let's go. Mobile tractor unit. We can kill that. But we're not going to. Not right now. Now, okay, so we've checked 4 ships, probes, and bubbles. And now we want to narrow down the search, right? So, we could just double click on there and go, okay, what's that? It's a mobile tractor unit. We want to know, like, hey, where's it at? Where is it at? So we can, like, go ahead and reduce the range to 90 degrees, okay? And we can start just, like, pushing V. We now know that it's 90 degrees within the angle of that station, right? So we now got a kind of cone. We zoom right in here. We'll try to, okay. There you go. You see that cone, guys? You see the cone? Your cone is saying that somewhere inside that bubble, and there's a lot of stuff there, there is that mobile tractor unit, okay? Now, we could pinpoint it a bit more, but that's just to show you that you're kind of pinpointing it, you're reducing the range, you know it's not behind you, you know that it's not on this gate over here, okay? It's not on the I-4 gate. Now, let's see what else we got. So, align camera to the gate and Celestials. Okay, so one thing you can do is we can go ahead and go look at, so we don't need to approach, right? But we can go to look at. I think I'm already looking at the gate, so we zoom in. In fact, so what we'll do is we'll cancel that. So we're not looking at the gate. We're cloaked up, okay? We go to the gate, we right click, look at. We're now got eyes on the gate. So we're watching like list. Well, when you're at this position, this is really cool, right? This is, like, people might not know this, some of you will. But when you're looking at the gate, you get the audio of the gate, right? You don't need to be next to it. But if your camera is looking there, you will hear the gate flash. You will see the signature, like the light flashing out from the gate. And then you'll be looking to see what appears, right? So you're watching for the overview. You'll see what ship appears. You're also looking for the direction that that ship's going to be flying in. You know, there's so much going on. And if you can get a good direction, you know, like, oh, he's coming to you guys. You know, like, oh, or if there's only one exit gate, you know, like if he's not warping to a station or to the sun, he'd be warping directly to their gate. You're like, aha, he's coming to you guys, get ready for tackle. Everybody gets in position. It's like, yeah, let's go. Okay. So just checking chat there. We're good. Let's continue. So we got that. We've got reduced range, align camera to gates and celestials. We've done that. We've like brought it in. We're looking at the gate. We're getting that information, guys. Okay, we're getting that information. Now, check gates safely. Okay, this is quite important. Okay, so especially in like low sec and null sec, that kind of thing, never warp to the gate at 0 blindly. Okay, so if you can, like even if I'm doing like exploration in null sec, I will still warp to a celestial. close to the gate. I will then scan the gate. I will look at it. I will directional scan the gate. I'll be like, okay, it's clear. Then I will warp to the gate. But don't just assume it's going to be clear. There might be smart bombers there. There might be, and if you're in like a really skinny ship, like a frigate, and smart bombers there, you just blown up and involved. There's no intel, right? Yeah, like the only intel is FC. I died. So you want to warp to a point, get eyes on. Like there's going to be times when you're going to have to move fast. You're not going to be able to do as much of that breakdown as you can, but ideally you want to be a couple of jumps ahead of the fleet, or maybe one or two. You know. So here we are. Never warp to gate to 0. Warp to a perch first. So right now, we're at a perch, right? Now how can we save that? So we can go ahead and go Control B, right? And we can create a bookmark. It's going to be there for 2 days. Okay, so we've done that. So let's go ahead and warp to the gate to 0. Let's quickly do that. I'm going to show you guys how to get to a perch, like, and why it's a good idea, etc., etc. Okay. Look at that, Pratt coming in by. So we're on the gate, we're at 0. Okay, fantastic. Now we're looking out. We've got that perch over there, right? Fontaine and perch, warp to 0.
Warp drive active.
So we warp to the perch. Now, ideally, guys, right? You want the perch to be quite a bit off the gate, because there might be things like drag bubbles and all that kind of stuff, and you don't want to be kind of getting dragged into that. You want to get to the gate, get eyes on, and then make a conscious decision. Okay, but here we have a perch. It's sitting off the gate. It's not directly in line with anything, or it actually is, but if you were doing it properly, it wouldn't be. And you're able to get eyes on and see that the gate is clear. There's nothing there that, like, you get some T3 cruisers, or sorry, Tech 2 cruisers that are not visible on D-scan. This is a good way to get in, check it out, and go, okay, it's clear. You've done that. Okay, let's have a look here. Safe approach, camp present, no camp, safe to approach. Okay, so we're going to warp in, and we're going to do a quick example of an intel report. Okay, so we're going to do standard scout report format, and it's a number of ships, types, location, and status. Okay, 5 in local, 3 on scan, 2 caracals, 1 osprey, etc. Let's warp into Isakami and see what's on the other side.
Warp drive active.
A little example, guys, okay? FC +1, so I'm going ahead, +1, I'm going 1 gate ahead of the fleet. Landing on the gate. Jumping. Okay, we're on the other side. Okay, what do we got? Okay, gate clear, gate clear. 14 in local, 14 in local, so we see that the gate is clear. Like right now, nobody's on the gate. There's 14 people in local. When we run D-scan, straight away, D-scan, maximum range. Boom, done. Okay, we got a Paladin on D-scan. Paladin D-scan, Dominic's Navy issue. Dominic's Navy issue and D-scan. 2 mobile tractor units. Okay, and then you're like, okay, so where are they? What direction? So then you go into more detailed directions, right? But what you've done there, and you've said, okay, there's a Marauder here, there's a Dominic's here, there's mobile tractor units, so there's a good chance that they're doing like some form of mission running or crabbing. And you're like, okay, so then you might go ahead and like launch your combat probes, get an idea where the ships are in local. We're not going to do that right now, but straight away we know that that's on D-scan, that's the ships that are available, but the gate is clear, so the fleet can jump in and there's not going to be anything to aggress them straight away. So we've done that, okay? There's your example. Key intel categories. Total and local, number on grid and D-scan, ship types, Logi, Guardian, Osprey, heavy tackle, like, the heavy dictors and sabers and all that kind of stuff. Electronic warfare, if they've got like 14 rooks, just be like, after you go home, man. Behavior. So you're looking at you're looking at position, gate name, station, safe, unknown. Okay, so you're looking like, okay, are they on a gate, right? So let's say they're on this gate. Okay, FC, 14 on gate, battleships, 2 Logi, Guardian. Okay, what battleships? Dominic's is spider tanking. Okay, cool. So we know that. What gate are they on? Fontainen, and they're at 0. They are at 0 on the Fontainen gate. 14 Dominic's, 2 Guardians. So you've got location, you've got the number of ships, you've got the combat multipliers, those Guardians, those repair ships, you know, you're giving the FC an idea, like, can he take the fight? Can he not? Your job as the FC is to give him good intel so he can make good decisions, okay? Saving all your buddies' ships in a kind of positive way. What next? Okay, so you're looking at behavior, right? So what are they doing? When they're on that gate, are they moving? Are they approaching the gate? Are they burning off? Are they like in a kiting position? You're then looking like, are they camping the gate? Have they got sensor boosters running? Have they got SIBOs? Like, that's the same thing. Have they got like certain kind of ships that would be like fast tackle, like interceptors? Have they got heavy dictors? That kind of stuff. You're then looking like, are they aggressed? So if those guys on the gate are aggressed, they can't jump. Okay, so we know that if they're aggroed and they've got a combat timer, that they cannot jump, but they can warp off. So then what we might do as an FC is go, okay, we're going to go get them. So your information telling us what aggravation state they're at is really important. So what else? So we said about aligning, sort of aggression camping. Communication and discipline. Really important here, guys. So, golden rules. Speak only when useful. So if you got nothing useful to say, even if you're the scout, say nothing. Let the FC think. Let him get his head together. Let him think of his plan. Because when he hears your voice, he wants information. He doesn't want to know what you had for your dinner last night. He wants to know what ships are on the gate, what gate you're going through, how many people there are, what the compositions are. You are the scout. You are the intel that he needs. Okay, and it's a really important position. Keep it short and structured. Give him the information he needs. Don't add loads of extra bits like, I think it could be one of these, but I'm not sure. Tell him what you know. Tell him what you can see, and then he can make a judgment call based on experience of how he's going to break it down. Okay. Let the FC ask follow-up questions. Okay? So you'll give him the information. The next thing you're doing is you're listening. You were paying attention to what the FC has to say. So you're like, okay, 12 on the gate, Dominic's. You're like, okay, are they close range? Are they at range? Are they aligning out? What are they doing? What are they doing? So then you're giving him more and more information, okay? What to avoid, guys. So I said a minute ago, don't add like loads of extra nonsense. So don't say things like, I think there might be more people coming. There may be a logistics ship, but I can't see it. Long stories. I remember back when I was doing this region that there used to be a guy that camped here, and we're not interested. We don't care. We don't want to hear it. Give us the intelligence that we need and move on. Okay? Use. Okay, what do we got? Facts only and updates only when something changes. But if something does change, make sure to tell them. Like now, FC, Praxis on gate, about to jump into you on Fontaine gate going in from Isakimi into Fontaine. Okay, second Barbaroga on the gate, sir. Barbaroga on the gate. So you're seeing these things landing on the gate. You're updating the FC. He knows they're about to jump into him. They're getting tackle already. It's all going to be fucking happening. Okay? I'm going to try and avoid using bad words. So, we've done that. Done the update. Surviving and positioning. Okay. Let's have a look at this. Whew. So, it's got here, if you are kind of in a position and you're kind of like ready to go, you're scouting, always be aligned to where you want to go next. Okay? So be aligned and be ready to warp off at a moment's notice. So if somebody warps in on you and counter scouts you, you want to get out of there. Okay? You do not want to be getting caught. Your job is intel, not tackle. Okay? So be aligned, get ready to get out. Next thing, what else do you want to do? Stay cloaked if possible. So right now we're not cloaked, but I'm not too worried. We're in a high sec. It's fine. But if you're in low sec, if you're in null sec, if you're scouting, stay cloaked. If they don't know what you're in, it makes it harder for them to react to what you might be. So if they see a Loki on D-scan, they're going to go, okay, It's maybe scouting. It's maybe got a Black Ops fleet. It's got a Sino. It's got this. It's got that. You know, like, It's also a T3 cruiser, so it could be pretty effective at basic PvP. So understanding the ship compositions that are in your region, if you can not give them that information, really important. Next, okay, what we got? Stay close. Don't sit on gates at 0. So right now, I'm 13 kilometers off. Like, if you're there and you do have to be on a gate, you're just kind of like mincing. You can either be at a perch or you can be on a gate, but orbit close range 500 meters. The reason we do that, guys, is if you're at a perch and you're aligned out, it's so you can get away quickly. Like if you are sitting on a gate and you're orbiting 500 meters, if somebody warps in at range and tries to quickly get an alpha on at you, you want to be getting your transversal up to reduce any potential alpha, and you can get out and pass that intel back to your FC, okay? Now, safe movement. Bounce between celestials, planet 1, planet 6, moon 1, moon 2, okay? Don't stay in one place at any one time, constantly running D-scan, keep an eye on what's going on. Use safes constantly. Okay, what is a safe? Let's demonstrate. So what we're going to do, guys, remember we made the perch, we bookmarked, but this time we're going to go to the sun, and on the way there, we're going to create a safe, guys. So, we're going into warp, we're in the Proteus, oh my god, and we're going to go ahead and Control B, type in safe 1, boom, return. And then, so we've now created a safe in warp, okay? So it's Control B, type in what it is, and then we land on the sun here at 100 off, we're cloaked up. We then want to go to locations, go to safe 1, warp to there at 0, and let's cloak up and do it. Let's kind of pretend we know what we're doing here. Here we go. We're cloaked up, we're going back, we're close to the gate, but this time we've created a bookmark in the middle of nowhere. There's no celestial, there's no moon, there's no planet. Like the sun's pretty close, but you know, this is a safe. So having safes started around the system that you can warp to, it makes it much harder for people to come and find you. Now, watch for combat probes. So if you're like scouting and you're in, say, a Gnosis, for example, it's a heavier ship, it can take tank gate guns, it's got fast tackle, people might be hunting you as well. So as much as you're hunting them, you want to be watching for things like combat probes. You can then go, okay, so FC combat probes on D-scan. He'll be like, okay, let me know what happens. So then he might actually get you to burn into a position and then decloak and then let them scan you down with the combat probes and be like, okay, they're pinpointed, they're all on me now. Then he's like, okay, guys, get ready, stand by. They're then warping in on you. They're thinking like, oh, ha, he's doing like ratting or something, but really you're scouting. Paying attention to what's happening on D-scan in local, it's really important all of the time, especially when you're scouting, guys. Okay. Cool. 7. Advanced scouting, reading D-scan like a pro. Okay. Sudden new ships, incoming fleet, probes, you're being hunted, and wrecks, recent fights. Okay, so you've got shipwrecks for NPCs, but you've also got player wrecks. So if you know that there's a lot of wrecks on the gate, you might be going, okay, well, people have been PvPing in the region recently. Let's just get our wits about us, pay more attention. You know, your spider senses, they go up, right? Really important. So keeping an eye on that D-scan, bait recognition. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to give you an example here. When I first started playing EVE Online, the bait recognition was one of two things, right? It was one of two things. If you were going to Old Man Store from Galanti Space, from the Dixie, and you're burning yourself with your cruiser gang, and you get to the Old Man Store gate and you jump in, and there's a solo ship there on the gate, 25 kilometers off. Nobody else on D-scan. Nobody else there. You're like, FC, there's a ship here. It's 25 off. I can get tackle. Do you want me to get tackle, FC? You'd be like, wait. What is it? What ship is it? Okay, it's a Drake. Okay, and then they'd be like, whoa. It's bait. So like you have the Drake, and then there's another ship. It's Prophecy. The Drake and the Prophecy were two of the biggest bait ships back in the day. Okay, and so if we seen them coming in, we'd be like, uh-oh. You know, spider sense would be tingling. You'd be thinking, this might be bait. Okay, thanks guys. Little drink there. So, lone ship on the gate. Strange composition. So you got one ship on the gate, but you got a guardian like maybe 5 AU away on a perch waiting to warp in when he gets aggroed. Or empty local suddenly spikes. So if you go and you aggro a guy, solo guy on the gate, and then all of a sudden 10 people jump in, you got to be thinking like, uh-oh, what's going on? So there's a couple of ways you can mitigate that as an FC, but we're not covering that right now. We're just saying like, keep an eye on the intel, watch what's happening, react accordingly, okay? Okay, common mistakes. Warping the gate to get, warping to gate blindly. So jumping in and not checking what the outbound gate's got. So running D-scan, warping to perks, all that kind of stuff. Talking too much. Hey, FC, like I was really thinking like after we've done this, we could go ahead and do some mining. What do you think, FC? Don't care. Shut up. Give me the intel. Okay? What else are we looking for? Not updating intel. You want to be updating. If something changes, somebody else comes into local, another ship comes on D-scan, the FC needs to know. Okay? If people are talking over you and you deem it to be important enough, like a paladin is landing on the gate, there's ways and means of going about that, right? So if you've got a comms which is like just a little bit undisciplined, you have like you have the FC's ear, and so you could be like, okay guys, clear comms. So then everybody like, whoa, who the fuck you totally should have. Excuse language, guys. And then they would be like, okay, something's going on. And so then you'd be like, FC, paladin on the gate, he's gonna jump in, stand by. And then it's like, okay guys, get ready for tackle, can we take him? And he's thinking the whole time, like, can we engage this? Can we take it? One paladin, yeah, I think we could. You know, have we got Logi? Have we got ECM? What's our combat multipliers going to take on this big, bad, evil ship, okay? Intel, important. Okay. Getting tackled first. So you're the scout, okay? So your job, like, so say for example, you're scouting and you're in an Estero, okay? So if you're in the Estero, you want to get into a position where a dedicated tackle could jump into local and warp to you directly. Whilst he's in warp, you want to be burning away in a different direction. So when he lands and you're not there. He doesn't decloak you, right? He's then able to get tackled. That's his job. His job is to tackle, right? He gets tackled, goes to close range orbit. And then everybody else is in, they're warping to the same position, they're warping to you, they're landing on grid, and they're aggressing the target. You are the scout. You're not meant to aggress unless specifically told to do so. Okay. Ignoring D-scan. Don't do it, guys. D-scan as a scout is your lifeblood. Okay, pay attention, see what's happening, understand what's going on. That is your job. You are keeping your fleet safe, or in some cases, getting your fleet into a fight. Now, practice drill. So jumping to local, 8 D-scan, 2 ruptures, 1 Skype, they're on the gate. So, okay, takeaways. Fast, clean intel wins fights. Your job is to enable decisions. If you die early, fleet is blind, and discipline on comms matter more than skill books. So guys, that is, in a nutshell, okay, in a really basic nutshell, the basics. And we've done that in 15 minutes, oh my god. No, is it 15 minutes? I'm not sure. 25 minutes. Oh my god. So there's the basics. So let's run through it quickly, guys. We're going to go ahead and warp ourselves to Yusuko, but it's 18.7 kilometers away. we're going to try and descan it. We can't do that. So what we're going to do, we're going to warp to something close by. Garustus Refuge. Okay, we're in a cloaky ship. We're going to warp at 100 kilometers. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. So we're warping towards that gate. We're cloaked up, as you can see. And we're going to bring up that descan, guys. Okay, we're watching on descan, seeing what's coming. And let's see how we can break this down. Ladies and gentlemen that are watching live right now, I just want to thank you very much for being here. You guys are awesome, and I hope you've enjoyed the stream. Okay, here we go, here we go. So we landed, we're 93 kilometers away from that. We're going to go ahead and just V and left click. We're scanning the gate, we reduced angle. The gate is clear, gate is clear. Okay, we're going to right click, warp and jump, warp and jump. So we're warping to the gate. We're going to jump on contact, and we're now going to go +1, and we're going to relay back that information to the FC. And we're going to let them know what's going on, okay? Go for pre-60 D-scan. Still on the gate. Jump and prove, jump and prove. Come on, let's go. Okay, so we're now into the new system. Okay, FC 17 and local, all neutrals. We're in Yusoko on the Isakami gate. We're running D-scan. We've got Orca and Retriever on D-scan. Orca and Retriever on D-scan. So we then want to go, okay, so it's an Orca and Retriever on D-scan. So what else can we do, right? We can go right-click. We can look at anomalies. See hidden hideaways, refuge. So it's not that, right? We can look at asteroid belts. And we can go ahead and add asteroid belts to the overview. Nice. Okay, so we've done that. We're going to quickly go ahead and reduce the range there. And we're going to check out, are these guys at the asteroid kills? So they're not there. And oh, here we go. Retriever is at the asteroid belt. Okay, so we're going to warp in at 70 kilometers, guys. Okay, FC, I've got to warp in on a possible Retriever. Stand by, stand by. So you're telling them, okay, so you got Retriever on D-scan. You're warping in. You're cloaked up. You're going to get yourself into position. FC knows what you're doing. He knows what you're going after. We're landing on grid. We've got Retriever on grid. Retriever on grid. I'm going to close range. Stand by, stand by. I'm going to close range. You're looking like, okay, so you've got the Retriever there. So one thing you can do, right, is you can go right-click, look at. Okay, he's mining right now. He's being engaged by rats. Okay, and he has not got combat drones out, so he's just tanking. And then what you can do, guys, is you can go ahead and right-click on here, right-click, and save location, okay? And it's Feldspar Rock, so we go ahead and submit. 2 days, Feldspar Rock. We can then go ahead and warp ourselves 100 kilometers away. And so this time, we're in a tackle ship, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to try and tackle, but we can't do it, we're in high tech, we're going to demonstrate. We're going to warp in close range to this Retriever, and then the FC's going to come in behind us, okay? So this time, we're in a ship that can tackle. If you're in a ship that can't, then don't, okay? I enjoy the information you share and teaching me a lot about scouting. Much appreciated. No problem, sir. Thank you very much. Okay, guys, we landed back. Okay, so we're gonna go here, align, Feldspar, align 2. So we're doing that right now. Okay, I think it was like the third gate, so let's go ahead and just make sure that he's still there. Okay, so we got the Orca, that one. Okay. Where are we going? Where are we going? There we go. Retriever is still there, guys. Retriever is still there. Okay. We're then going to go right-click. Location, Feldspar, warp to 0. Here we go. We're going in, guys. We're going in. We're going in. This is how you would do it. You got your target. He's in low sec. He's mining at the belt. You're warping in. Stand by, stand by. We have landed. We are now 4,000 meters away from him. We're decloaking, decloaking, decloaking. We're locking him up. Approach, approach, approach. Target, 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 target. Here we go, guys. And it's a little bit of a delay. There we go. We're locking him up now. Orbiting 500 meters. And here we go. The rats are engaging. Here we go, here we go, here we go. So we now got the target locked. We've got scram on him. He's not going anywhere. He's going down. The fleet's landing. He's going to die. Job is a good one, guys. That is how you would do it. What we're going to do, though, is we're not going to kill him. Of course, we're in high sec. We're in a Proteus. We are going to kill his rats, though. You know, we're going to kill the rats. Here we go. Let's save this guy. Oh, you got webs on that irrigator. Fuck you, irrigator. Excuse language, guys. Sorry, my bad. Here we go, here we go, here we go. He is safe. He is safe. Let's get out of here, guys. We're going to warp station, land at 0. So one thing to be aware of, if you've been engaging a target, and you've been shooting him, you've been getting some damage on grid, and then you're getting out, remember that you will have an aggression timer for 60 seconds, okay? So if you have an enemy fleet on that station, you might not be able to dock, so just be careful, okay, guys? Just be careful. So we're landing at station. We're going to go ahead and dock up here, guys. We're going to go ahead and dock up.
Docking permission requested. Docking request accepted.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're docked back up. We have covered, in really basic terms, an introduction to being a scout for PvP, okay? We're giving a bit of background, a little bit of intel, some demonstrations. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, hit the like, comments, guys. And if you got any questions at all, like there's loads of different ways, different fleet commands. If you got any questions, hit them in the comment section. I will be checking, I will look, and I will respond as and when I can. Guys, ladies, gentlemen, this has been a very, very fast stream. It was estimated to take me an hour. We've done it in about 35 minutes. I'm really happy with that. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. This has been fantastic. Guys, we all love EVE Online. We'll see you again next time. Have an amazing day. God bless, and good night.